In a scathing editorial in their mouthpiece, Samna, the Shiv Sena has hit out at the BJP over so-called love jihad, the right-wing bogey that targets cross-faith marriages between Hindus and Muslims. According to the Samna, love jihad is the new weapon of the BJP, and that after the Bengal elections, the weapon will be thrown away. This comes as the Allahabad High Court ruled that the marriage of a couple, Priyanka Kharwar and Salamat Ansari, was entirely legal, and that the right to live with a person of his or her choice, irrespective of religion professed by them, is intrinsic to right to life and personal liberty. That's what the Allahabad High Court has said. Now, the debate on love jihad comes at a time when states such as UP, Madhya Pradesh and Haryana are considering a law against this so-called jihad. A lot of people in this country say it breaks the fabric of our country, where marriages across faiths has never been an issue till it became a political issue in the last few years, particularly now being the case. Joining us, Arvind Sawant, MP and spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, Asif Bhamla of the BJP. We're also joined by Samar Halankar, the founder of India Love Project, and also Nilufar Venkatraman, who also is a co-founder of this. PKD Nambiar, a political analyst who supports the BJP, also with us on this program. Let me come to you first, Arvind Sawant. Why do you believe that this is essentially a short-term political tool?
Absolutely true, because is there any issue of love jihad right now? Can it be a top priority right now? What is the priority of the country? Corona is the topmost priority, to fight with Corona. Unemployment, economy, farmers, now that cyclone is coming in Tamil Nadu. So many issues are there. What is that? As far as Maharashtra is concerned, I don't think there is such a severe condition that the love jihad law should be brought into. I don't think it. This is pure and sheer politics by BJP, nothing else.
Mr. Bhamla referred to that there are pressing issues. Why are you going on and on about this so-called love jihad?
No, I mean, the state government has the prerogative to take this if it desires to on a very serious note. But we've been seeing that marriages are religious institutions, and marriages across faith have never been an issue much in the past, because we also
come why is it an issue now, sir?
Society. Off lately with the issues of Nikita Tomar and Gulnaz, we've seen the country was shaken up, and it did not, it rocked the sentiments of so many people. I mean, these issues were very critical issues. You've seen that.
The country was shaken up. So which country was shaken up, sir?
No, sir. What I'm trying to say is that there have been a lot of cases like this, like the hidden identities of the caste for the sake of love and lust. There have been identities that have been hidden, and the marriages have taken place, and later on that has turned out to be a futile exercise.
Sir, a special investigating team in Uttar Pradesh has just said that there is no larger conspiracy over here. There is none. The conspiracy angle is the figment of the imagination of some people.
The cases of rape, humiliation, murder, intelligence...
No, there is rape associated in interfaith marriages. That's what you're saying.
No. It's not... You're getting my narrative wrong. You see, there are intermarriages that happen, but after a time, sometimes there have been lies to ensure the happening of the marriage out of the love and affection. And in that case, when there are children, and when there are many, and then there are many more complications that arise. So,
what cases, sir? How many cases, sir?
There have been a number of cases.
Really?
I mean, you don't refer this Nikita Tomar. This is not a Hindu versus a Muslim issue. Again, let me tell you this.
It's not.
Nikita Tomar was one issue. 1 minute. So also was Gulnaz another issue. Okay, and there were serious murder issues, and you know it. So,
okay, so Arvind Sawant, would you like to respond to that? That apparently there have been serious issues,
that this has to be,
and that we can't neglect a couple of these cases which were mentioned. I would like to, of course, ask where they went legally, but we'll save that for the next. Mr. Sawant, go ahead. Yes.
There are two parts. One is that the government has banned talaq. Okay.
Yes.
by law.
Yes.
We have brought the law.
Yes.
Where the Muslims cannot do like this. So protect the women of the Muslims. And second part is that Constitution gives us a freedom of expression, speech and live. How to live is an individual. Whether I belong to any religion, it's my religion, it's her religion. She has got a liberty to live her life. If she wants to marry a Muslim, we cannot prevent it by law. I think in the last week only the High Court of the Uttar Pradesh High Court only has given a verdict against this. What is that love jihad? You cannot see that Muslim boy and Hindu girl. You can't say that. The marriage is marriage. Both are grown up. If the marriages are being done below the age, 18
Correct.
years of age, a
Correct.
girl is below 18 years,
Also
that can be
marriage
taken
out of
into
And that's
serious
illegal
note.
in any
This
faith.
cannot be.
There is no
This
love jihad over here.
This
That is
can-
illegal in any
case.
faith.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely right. Any case, yes, true. It is illegal in any case. Now, as far as rape and other cases, then mob lynching is also there. Then mob lynching is also there. So don't divert the subject. Subject is what love jihad. What do you mean by? How do you define that love jihad? What do you mean by that?
In fact,
And as far as Maharashtra is concerned, we are living in harmony. There is no issue of. We are living in a very good harmony over in Maharashtra.
PKD Nambiar, one of the important points
There's
that was
harmony in
actually
Maharashtra.
raised by the Allahabad High Court, which actually ruled in the case of Priyanka Kharwar and Salamat Ansari, was about some of the other judgments.
Salman.
Yeah, was about some of the other judgments which were made recently. And on these judgments, on this so-called love jihad and cases like this of interfaith marriage, what the Allahabad High Court said is very important. And I quote, "None of those judgments dealt with the issue of life and liberty of two mature individuals in choosing a partner or their right to freedom of choice as to with whom they would like to live. We hold that the judgments in Noor Jahan 2014 and Priyanshi September 2020 as not lying good in law." These are very strong statements. Why is the BJP pursuing this love jihad business?
I believe, firstly, I think for the benefit of Mr. Arvind Sawant, I would like to define the love jihad since he was asking that there is no definition, but it's my own definition. I can be wrong. It is an ill-advised interreligious love affair. So
Ill-advised?
Ill-advised.
Ill-advised?
By who, sir?
I'm repeating it, Vishnu, for your benefit.
Who's advising?
Ill-advised inter-religious love affair. Now, I will just explain you a couple of instances because love jihad is a reality. In the year 2014, in the Kerala Legislative Assembly, the then Chief Minister
It's
of
good that Asif Babla being a Muslim says like this.
On the floor of the House said there are 2,667 Hindu girls were converted into Islam on the pretext of marriage proposal. Now you have a choice. In 3 years' time, 2,667 Hindu girls have been converted into Islam only on the basis of a pure marriage proposal. It has nothing to do with a organized activity. Then I leave that to your
So it is a marriage proposal by your own words, sir.
Now let me come to the second word. Now second.
What's wrong with a marriage proposal?
Vishnu, I just then you can. I appreciate it. I want you to complete.
Yes,
let me
yes, complete.
The second part of it is that it is not about a Hindu-Muslim activity. The love jihad is nothing to do with only a Hindu-Muslim. In the year 2019, the Syro Malabar Christian Sabha has the head of the church has said that more than so many Christian girls have been lured in the name of love jihad. It is not
So
about
the word jihad applies to Christians as well now.
Yeah, the word. Please quote love jihad. You can go around and check it. On the basis of that particular report, the National Commission of Minority, Vice Chairman of the National Minority, written a letter to the Home Ministry then, talking about 4,000 love jihad cases are happening, irrespective of Hindu or anything, but converting Hindu Christian girls to Islam on the pretext of marriage, luring them.
Okay, 1 second, Mr. Nambiar, you've made your point, lots of points.
love jihad is a reality in this
Okay,
country.
Nilufar, would you like to respond to that? He says that there are thousands of cases where this has happened, where people apparently against their will have been forced to marry into other communities. Nilufar, respond to this.
Yeah, sure. I would say that firstly, there are definitely lots of people who are forced into marriages all over the country, and I don't think it has anything to do with religion or converting. And I think that that's what perhaps needs to be addressed when women are forced into marriages that they don't want. That is the issue. The issue here isn't about conversion, and this is definitely it's just politicized to a point where numbers are thrown out. We don't know where the numbers are from. And I think that if they really wanted to address the issue of people being forced into marriages, let's go into the reality of how many women are marrying of their own free accord and how many are being forced into marriages by families, by communities, by society.
So the bottom line over here is that this term, it refers specifically to members of the Muslim faith for apparently, right? And so it is meant to create division in our society. Nilufar, that's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
That's the bottom line. Samar, would you like to add to this? Because the key point, Mr.
Hello.
Nambiar, I promise you, I will come back to you. I'm not going to keep you away from this, rest assured. Samar has joined, I want to ask him this. The point which keeps coming up over and over again is that there are so many examples where this has happened. Basic research which I have done seems to indicate very, very few cases, and in these cases, many which have gone to the courts have been thrown away. Now, where are these numbers? That's what as a journalist, I want to know, where are these so-called numbers of so-called love jihad?
No, if you're asking me, I have no idea where these numbers are because I don't see them anywhere. And
Exactly. So
this
where do these numbers come from? I don't
think
understand. Do you?
No, the figments of imagination, I think, of the BJP and its allies to very clearly create a narrative which, to my mind, is a fake narrative.
Okay. An entirely fake. Mr. Hamla, would you like to respond to that? That this is a fake narrative?
You see, this narrative has emerged, it was not an issue earlier, but of lately, there have been marriages out of force. If you see, India has been a case where I live in a very cosmopolitan society. In Bandra, we have a lot of intercaste, and I don't blame that, and I don't jump to the conclusion.
So there's so many BJP leaders as well who have interfaith marriages.
Yes,
I'm sure.
But if you see, lately there has been, there's been some forceful cases, and not only cases of marriage. There've been forceful. There've been forceful conversion of caste also. It's like when there is a marriage is one aspect of it. But if it's a forceful conversion, it becomes a bigger challenge then for the generation next and for them to sustain the marriage in years to come. So that, keeping all that in mind, now coming back to the fact that the court, if it has given a judgment to a particular case, and if it is allowed, then there is no question beyond that. I mean, we are not here to question or condemn the decision of the Honorable High Court. But there are cases of forceful conversions which has to be objected to.
Okay, so let's get Mr. Sawant. He wants to make a point. He says that there are forceful cases of conversion, right? So there are forceful cases of marriage. There are forceful cases of marriage. I don't know if conversion and marriage are being used, synonymously. But Mr. Sawant, please come in with what you are saying. Yes.
2 points are important here. One is conversion of religion. Conversion of religion by preaching sermons and then creating a fear out of it, or giving illusions out of that, and then exploiting the poverty should be treated as an offense, serious offense. Don't do that. Converting by exploiting the poverty of the people. There we shall understand that. But this, in fact, Kerala should be much careful about the people who are joining ISIS. The girls are joining ISIS. They should be much careful about that instead of religious debates. If you think what is happening in Pakistan, look at the Hindus who are in Pakistan. They are being forcibly converted into Muslims. There you don't raise your voice. You are raising voice within the country when the people are living in harmony. And there I feel wherever it is happening, he has given some numbers that how many girls are converted into a Muslim, and then he said proposed marriage. I got confused. What do you mean by proposed marriage?
Exactly.
That means she is willingly joining the another religion. Then my Bhamla was saying that ill advised by someone to convert her into a Muslim, then that can be taken into a serious subject. But then, because you know, if it is a illiterate woman or illiterate man who doesn't know it, then it is to be serious. A learned person, a grown-up person, an individual, he wants to marry someone, you cannot say it is a love jihad.
Let me ask Mr. Arvind Sawan, how can a political compulsion of a political party and a political leader can change the stand overnight is a superb example of Arvind Sawan's whole statement today. His own party was against the love jihad. You go to the Google and check that how many, even Samna has written about love jihad quite a bit. So I think let's not change the stand of political party, political overnight.
No, then you may not have read it. Oh my goodness.
Love jihad is not about a BJP or an RSS is taking it up, Vishnu. Love jihad is also a...
Arvind Sawan disagrees with you. He's got his hand on his head. He wants to reply.
Love jihad is all about something like a Christian missionary.
One second. Mr. Sawan, go ahead. Respond to him. One sec, Mr. Nambiar. If you make a point, you must allow others to respond. Mr. Sawan, go ahead.
Speeches of Balasaheb Thackeray, the great patriotic leader, Hindutwavadi, Mr. Balasaheb Thackeray. He never ever said that. His Hindutva was always related to patriotism, not to the religion. His Hindutva was always related to the patriotism. Anyone who is against this country, may it be belong to any religion, he was against it. But it was true that the Muslim majority people were at that time when the Pakistanis to win the matches and they were cracking the firecrackers were blown in Mumbai and all. There he was against it. So that's what it is related to patriotism. Don't go for love jihad and all. He never said that. He never. But then by deceiving the girl, by converting, by creating illusions, by preaching sermons and exploiting their poverty, we still are against that.
All right. So you are saying that forcible conversion is wrong, Mr. Sawan. That's what you're saying, right?
What we are saying on a national channel.
Okay. Samar, you've been very silent in all of this. I think the larger issue over here is that there are countless interfaith marriages in this country who would find a debate such as this to be against what they have believed in for their entire lives. It's natural for them. Love is something natural. It goes beyond some words like love jihad. How does this debate essentially challenge that fabric which we've never second guessed in the past, but now have to debate?
No, I have been silent simply because this debate is veering off into areas that are not mundane to the topic at hand. Because we are debating all kinds of things. We are not debating a very simple matter, which is that there are young people here and should they have agency or should they not have and make their own decisions. Instead, we are talking of political conspiracies, we are talking of all kinds of things, but finally it comes down to two people who want to have a relationship with each other. And that has to be kept sacrosanct and sacred, and they should be allowed the freedom of choice as much as is possible there. What we have seen certainly from the hundreds of examples and the hundreds of people who have been writing to us every day is that there are many more people who are in interfaith relationships, not just marriage, interfaith relationships, intercaste, intergender relationships, whatever it is. There are many more than we realize. And the spread of education in India has created a situation where there are a whole lot of young people interacting with each other in educational institutions and at the workplace as well. Don't forget a place like Bangalore, where I live, has about 2 million people employed by the IT industry, and these people are from all over the world, all over the country, and of all faiths and all backgrounds. And the point is that they are mixing and mingling, and they have far fewer barriers that exist for them in their real life. They are away from home and they just want to get to know each other, fall in love when they can, and get on with their lives. And I think they should be allowed to have the freedom to do that unhindered by politics, unhindered by court cases, and unhindered by anything else that comes in their way. And I think that is the essence of the issue. And we have frankly been taken aback by the kind of response we have got. And given the fact that many people do not want to share their story because of the kind of atmosphere that has been created around this whole question of interfaith love marriages and love jihad, it's astonishing how many young people want to come out and make a statement and say, yes, we are here. Yes, we have got married beyond our faith, and all of them are defiant and say that we do not want you to interfere. Let us live our life. Let us fall in love. Let us make our mistakes.
Last question to you, Niloufar. Again, you've
marriage
mentioned
has
very
been,
little.
if I can
1
come
minute,
in
sir.
for
1
20
second, sir.
seconds.
Let's focus on the love aspect of relationships. And which is why my last question to Niloufar Venkatraman, as co-founder of this India Love Project, why did you feel the need to start this? How did you think about starting this in the manner that you have?
So obviously, starting this was triggered by the Tanishq ad, of course. But we've been talking about setting up a website for over a year. A website that is something that shares love. I think we really feel very strongly about the hate mongering that has become so much part of our everyday lives, and we thought that we need a space where we are instead spreading love. Let's spread love. Everybody loves a good love story. Let's tell these real life stories. And one of the first stories that we told on our project was the story of my parents, which dates back to 1958, which is a Parsi and a Tamil Hindu marrying. And as we go, we just find more and more stories, and I think that that's what we want to do. We want to spread stories of love, stories of happiness, and maybe things go wrong sometimes too. That's not a big deal. But like Samar said, if people are given, if there is an age limit at which people marry, then let them marry. If you think they're old enough to tie the knot, then they're old enough to make the decision on who they tie the knot with.
Which is nothing
has been
more
a-
than
and
common sense.
Picking
It
up
follows
10
the law
seconds.
of the land. It's as simple
Exactly.
as that.
Yeah, yeah.
Why should love and relationships be decided by somebody else? It is ultimately about what two consenting adults want. That's what the court says.
10 seconds, Vishnu.
I'd like to thank all of you very much for joining us. I think we've gone through the broad parameters of this very divisive debate. At the end of the day, what do the courts say? What does the law say? What does the constitution say? Let's not fall prey to false bogies looking to instill hate in our country. We'll take a short break.